Gratitude. It's not just some warm, fuzzy feeling, is it? It's a high-performance tool. And today, we're going to deconstruct the real science behind exercises that are proven to boost your happiness and, get this, your productivity. Welcome to Daily Book Insight.
I mean, listen to that. The difference between loving and hating your job, between a happy marriage and divorce. Wow, that is a huge claim, right? We're not just talking about feeling a little bit better. This positions gratitude as a critical factor, a game changer for your career, your relationships, your entire life. The idea is that this one little habit could be the thing that separates thriving from just getting by.
But, what's the real science here? And what's the actual ROI, the return on investment? Because for people like us who want proof, who want data, well, feel-good quotes just aren't going to cut it. We need to see the numbers and really understand how it all works. So let's do it. Let's dive in.
All right, here's our game plan for today. First, we'll cover the gratitude ROI, the actual measurable benefits. Then, we'll define what this thing really is from a scientific viewpoint. After that, we'll open up the toolkit, see how it all works, and we'll finish with a simple 14-day action plan you can literally start tonight. Okay, first up, the gratitude return on investment. We are talking about tangible, data-backed benefits that will show up in your life and in your career. So you might be asking, where's all this proof coming from? Well, for this breakdown, we're diving into a major 2010 academic review from the Clinical Psychology Review. So just to be clear, this isn't some fluffy pop psychology stuff. This is a deep dive into years and years of rigorous research.
Okay, let's start with a massive number. One long-term study found that people who cultivate gratitude are more than 7 times less likely to develop clinical depression over a decade. Just let that sink in for a second. This isn't a small tweak. It's a powerful, powerful preventative shield against one of the biggest drains on human potential and productivity. And here's the real ROI on that number. It all comes down to enhanced mental resilience. In any high-stakes career, any high-stress environment, resilience is everything. It is the key asset that lets you navigate challenges, bounce back from setbacks, and just keep performing at your peak over the long haul. And it gets better. It's not just about your mental health during the day. The research shows a direct link to better sleep. We're talking higher quality, longer duration, and this is the big one, less of that brain fog and dysfunction during the day. And the how is actually pretty simple. Grateful people just tend to have more positive thoughts before bed. It acts like a natural sleep aid.
So if you think about this like a balance sheet for your well-being, the picture becomes super clear. On the asset side, gratitude is robustly linked to higher life satisfaction and just more positive feelings in general. And on the liability side, it's strongly and negatively correlated with stress and depression. It even boosts your social network. I mean, it is a win-win-win across the board. All right, so the ROI is pretty undeniable, right? Now let's move on and get a much deeper understanding of what gratitude actually is, because it is so much more than just saying thank you. You see, researchers have redefined gratitude. It's not just a fleeting emotion. They call it a life orientation. Think of it like a cognitive framework. It's the lens you choose to view the world through. It's the active, habitual tendency to scan your environment for the positive, to actually notice and appreciate what's good. And what's really cool is how this life orientation breaks down into 8 distinct facets. It's not just one thing, you see. It's having those grateful feelings often. It's appreciating other people, focusing on what you have instead of what you don't. It's about feeling awe, actively showing your thanks, enjoying the present moment, understanding that life is short, and even making positive social comparisons. A truly grateful personality has all of these things working together. So here's the key distinction, the big difference. Passive thankfulness is reactive. It happens to you, like when you get a gift. But in active gratitude orientation, that's proactive. It's a mindset that you cultivate, one that constantly and deliberately scans for the good no matter what's going on around you. That is the shift that unlocks high performance. This brings us to the most practical part of our entire breakdown, the gratitude toolkit. These are the simple, scientifically validated interventions you can use to build this life orientation. The research highlights 3 main types of interventions: keeping gratitude lists, something called grateful contemplation, and making behavioral expressions, like writing a letter of thanks. For our purposes today, we're going to focus on the most studied, most accessible, and you could argue the most powerful of these, the gratitude list.
And the evidence for just making lists is, well, it's pretty compelling. It's the most researched technique. Studies have shown it can be just as effective as common clinical therapies for reducing things like excessive worry. But here's the kicker. In those same studies, people were more than twice as likely to actually stick with the gratitude list. And as we all know, higher compliance means better results. And this isn't some temporary boost. One of the landmark studies in the field found that the positive effects of this simple exercise lasted for up to 6 months. That just shows that a small, consistent practice can create real, lasting change in your mental framework.
So, we know the what and the how. But what's really happening under the hood? How does writing a simple list actually start to rewire your brain for success?
Well, the research points to 2 key cognitive mechanisms. First, something called the schematic hypothesis. Basically, practicing gratitude changes your mental blueprints. You start to see help from others as more valuable and more genuine, which naturally strengthens your social and professional networks. Second, there's the coping hypothesis. You actually shift your approach to problems. Instead of avoiding or denying them, you become more likely to seek out social support and engage in active problem solving, which are the hallmarks of a resilient mindset.
Okay, we've covered the data, the definition, the tools, and the theory. Now let's put it all together into a simple, actionable plan you can start using right away. Here is your 14-day challenge, and it's based directly on the interventions that have proven so effective. Step 1, get a dedicated journal or notebook. Step 2, every single night just before bed, write down 3 to 5 specific things from your day that you're grateful for. Step 3, and this is crucial. Don't just list the item, briefly write down why you were grateful for it. This deepens the practice. And finally, challenge yourself not to repeat any items for the full 2 weeks. This forces your brain to scan for new positives. Look, this isn't just about feeling good. This is about building resilience, improving sleep, strengthening relationships, and sharpening your problem-solving skills. The science is clear and the tool is simple. You now have the data and the method. So the only question left is, what are you going to do with the strategic advantage? If you found this explainer valuable, please do me a favor and hit that like button, subscribe, and maybe share this with family and friends who are also looking to upgrade their life. Thanks for watching.